Hello and Assalamualaikum to Miss Sabara. My name is Nur Binti Idris, Nometric 10DLS19F1007. First of all, the introduction based on title and investigation of the PSP canteen. First, a canteen is a place where food is to be served and eaten, where different snacks and drink products are sold. The function of PSP canteens are to provide the service to the polytechnic community. Second, to provide a variety of nutritious and attractively presented food and drinks at a reasonable cost. A canteen that provides is a healthy food and cleanliness canteen. And lastly, canteen is the most important place for PSP students in Polytechnic Seberang Perai. Next, the objective of the investigation. The purpose of this study was to investigate the opinions of PSP students about the canteen in PSP. Second, to get the opinion of the student at PSP on how to improve the service at the PSP canteen. So, I will continue with the part A, which is respondent background. As shown in the table 1, the survey from was distributed 50 students from Polytechnic Seberang Perai PSP. First, the information on respondent department was collected. The highest number of respondents came from Commerce Department JP with 37 students. This was followed by Electrical Engineering Department JKE with 7 students, Mechanical Engineering Department JKM with 5 students, and lastly, Information and Communication Technology with only 1 student participate in this study. Second, the data on respondent semester were gathered. There were 3 combined semesters in the survey. Semester 1 to 2 had 4 students, semester 3 to 4 had 2 students, and semester 5 and above with 44 students. Finally, the respondents were identified based on their gender. 36 female and 14 male students were responded to the survey. So, I will proceed with the part B, which were respondents' feedback. For the question 1, the bar graph above shows the number of respondents according to the reasonable food price at canteen in PSP. Y-axis represents the number of respondents, while the x-axis represents the respondent opinion. There were 2 options, which were yes and no. According to the respondents, dramatically higher choose yes, which was 45 respondents in total. Meanwhile, there were drastically lower choose no, which were 5 respondents. To sum up, respondents choose yes for the food price was reasonable at canteen. So that's all from me. I will pass for the next presenter.
Thank you, Nur Ain. Hi, my name is Nur Ain Shazana binti Muhammad Nisizam, number metric 10DLS19F1005. I will continue with question number 2, which is varieties of food in canteen. As we can see from the bar graph here, the bar graph above shows the number of respondents according to what students think that the food in canteen can be in more varieties. Y-axis represents the number of respondents, while X-axis represents the respondents' opinion. There were 2 options from the graph, which were yes and no. It is clearly from the graph here that the number of respondents were drastically higher, choose yes, with 46 respondents in total. Meanwhile, the number of respondents were drastically lower, choose no, with 4 respondents. To sum up, the number of respondents that choose yes is much higher than no about that think that the food in canteen can be in more varieties. The next question is question number 3, which is the rate on the cleanliness of the canteen. As we can see from the pie chart here, the pie chart here shows about the rate on the cleanliness of the canteen among PSP students. The pie chart here was divided into 4 segments, which were poor, good, average, and excellent. Less than a tenth of respondents, which were 8%, choose poor on the cleanliness of the canteen at PSP, while below than a tenth of respondents, which were 6%, choose excellence on the cleanliness of the canteen at PSP. Besides that, slightly more than a quarter of respondents, which were 36%, choose good on the cleanliness of the canteen at PSP. Exactly a half of respondents, which is 50%, choose average on the cleanliness of the canteen at PSP, which make it the highest rating given by the students, followed by good, excellent, and poor. The next question is question 4. As can be seen from the bar graph here, the bar graph here shows a survey on the expenses of the daily food according to the PSP students. Y-axis represents the number of respondents, while X-axis represents the students' expenses for their daily food. The bar graph was divided into 4 columns, which were RM5 until 10 ringgit, RM10 until 12 ringgit, RM12 until 15 ringgit, and more than RM15 ringgit. As can be seen from the graph, the highest number of respondents chose RM5 until 10 ringgit, which was significantly higher than RM10 until 12 ringgit. Furthermore, the number of respondents chose more than RM15 ringgit were fractionally lower than RM12 until 15 ringgit of their expenses for their daily food, with a difference of 2 respondents. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Thank you, Presenter Shazana. Hi everyone, my name is Loshni Ilakavan and metric card number is 10 DLS 19 F1061. I am here to present about our question 5, which is, are you satisfied with the service provided by the canteen workers? The bar graph above shows a survey on the service provided by the canteen workers at Polytechnic Seberang Perai. Y-axis represents the number of respondents, while X-axis represents the rate of services. The bar graph was divided into 4 segments, which were moderate, good, average, and bad. As can be seen from the bar graph, the most rating that given by the respondents on the service provided by the canteen workers, which was moderate, was marginally higher than the rating of good. Besides that, respondents that would choose good was slightly higher than respondents who choose average for the service provided by the canteen workers. Next is question 6, which is, which stall do you prefer to take your lunch? The pie chart is above explained on the stall students prefer to take their lunch at Polytechnic Seberang Perai. The pie chart were divided into 4 segments, which is Delima, Emas, and Mutiara and Zamrud. Slightly more than 1/10, which is 12% of respondents mentioned Emas, which almost a quarter 20% of respondents mentioned Mutiara. Nearly a third, 34% of respondents mentioned Zamrud, and almost a half, 42% of respondents was mentioned Delima. Next is about question 7, which is the menu in canteen is suitable with your taste? The analysis is about the pie chart above explained on the suitable taste of menu for Polytechnic Seberang Perai student in canteen. The pie contains 2 segments, which were yes and no. Exactly majority 82% of respondents mentioned yes, and exactly a fifth 18% was mentioned no. Thank you. I will pass to the next presenter to continue the presentation.
Thank you, Loshni. Good day, everyone. My name is Swati Anjali from class DLS 5A. My metric number is 10 DLS 19F1206. Now, I am going to continue the presentation. Now we are going to see the satisfactions of students on the facilities in the canteen at Seberang Prime. The pie chart were explained on the satisfaction of students on facilities in canteen at Seberang Prime. The bar graph were divided into 4 segments which were strongly agreed, disagreed, and strongly disagreed. Exactly a half of respondents strongly agrees to increase the facilities in canteen, while more than 1/3 of respondents chose agree to increase the facilities, and below 1/10 of respondents disagreed. Next is about the preferences of students in the canteen at Seberang Prime. The y-axis represents the number of respondents, while the x-axis represents the preferences of students in the canteen. The bar graph was divided into 3 segments, which was spoon and tissue must be provided in the table, provide pure water in the tables, and provide soap at the sink. The preferences of respondents that pure water must be provided in the tables was significantly lower than of the respondents preferred spoon and tissue must be put in the table. Meanwhile, the preferences that soap must be provided at the sink were slightly higher than of respondents preferred that spoon and tissue must be put in the table. Next, we're moving on to the opinion of students on how the food should be served in the canteen at PSP. The pie chart above explained on how the food should be served in the canteen at Seberang Prime. The pie chart were divided into 4 segments, which were buffet style, serve on certain period of time only, serve the food only when we request it, and the food must be closed at all times. Less than 1/3 of respondents chose buffet style as their preferred style of serving, while slightly over than 1/3 of respondents chose to serve on certain period of time only. Close to 1/5 of respondents chose to have the food served only when we request it, and below 1/10 of the respondents chose to have it on certain period of time only. Thank you.
Thank you, Anjali. Now I will continue with the conclusions. The canteen is a must-visit place for students at Polytechnic Seberang Perai. After class, the students must visit the canteen to fill their stomach, relax, and chat with friends. The canteen is not only a place to eat, but there are some students who do their assignment at the canteen. By conducting this investigation, we can identify the services and facilities provided in the canteen, whether adequate or not. The level of cleanliness of the canteen and food hygiene there can also be known through the answer given by the students. The next is recommendations. The suggestions that we can give as a result of these investigations is that the canteen at Polytechnic should further improve their services as well as facilities available in the canteen, such as providing soap in the sinks to make it easier for students to wash their hands. The canteen also need to improve their hygiene level so that the canteen atmosphere is not too dirty, which can make students' appetite disturbed, as well as in terms of food hygiene, where the canteen can close each food before the students come, and if the students want to take the food, they can open it themselves. I think that's all from our group. Thank you.